No.
Hi, everybody. Yep. Welcome back to 1d4 plus 1 Amber Wars adventure. That was before we begin, we'd like to extend a congratulations to the other D&D podcast that's on tonight. It is their second campaign's 69th episode. Nice.
Oh,
69.
Nice.
We're like not allowed to mention their name or something?
Nice.
You should probably mention their name.
They don't really need the public. If we're doing them a favor by advertising, then we're wielding a power that I'm not aware of.
Okay. Alright, that's fair.
Schmidtical Kroll.
Yes. Ritical Kroll.
The other D&D podcast who needs no introduction.
Let's get right into it. Last time, during the adventure, you guys had finally gotten out of the underroad pathway. Jumping on one of the Zadaran trams, you took the Skyway to the city of Zadara, meeting the Red Herring Gang and their highly competent stealing methods. You landed in Zadara, began to make your way around the city a little bit, removing a curse, knocking over a table, and finding yourselves in front of the Starling Bar and Inn. That's where you're standing. The sun has just set. The evening is in full swing. The nearby outdoor patios of the restaurants around you are brimming with night activity. There are people laughing, drinking, singing. And you can almost hear some music coming from inside of the tavern as well. So, what would you like to do?
Do we have drinks?
You're outside the bar, so right now, no.
Okay.
I think this is it.
I'm gonna go inside the bar. And
For my edification, what is your facial situation right now?
currently I'm not disguised, but I have my hood
You
up.
still have your hood up? Okay.
Yeah.
You still have your bird mask on? I can't remember if you had to let that.
No, I've taken the bird mask off.
Okay, so you have your hood up.
Yeah. As I'm going in, I'm taking the bird mask off.
Bird convention.
Those poor patrons of that cafe.
They just were overwhelmed. So I want to walk into the Starling.
All right.
We're supposed to ask for the
grackle.
The grackle, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to go up to the bartender.
All right. As you step in, you can see this is a very simple-looking tavern in comparison to some of the more frilly other places you've walked by. It's just a simple wooden bar. It sort of gives you like country bar vibes versus the fancy seating of the other places you walk in. It smells of just sort of old, almost a little bit musty wood floors.
Bar.
Pretty much.
What's
yeah.
the tavern game situation?
There's a dartboard on the back wall, and then there is one of the like shuffleboard bars, but it looks a little bit decrepit and like needs to be replenished of sand.
Like leans to
Yeah,
one
just
side.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to walk up to the bartender
All right.
and ask for some rooms in the grackle.
All right. As you step in, you can see a human man behind the bar cleaning a glass, and as you step through the door, wipe your feet.
For a hot second, I didn't hear if you said young or old man. That was solved.
He's
both.
18.
I
Fresh-faced youth.
I wipe my feet
Mm-hmm.
and then come up to the bar.
How can I help you? Welcome to the Starling, Mrs.
Hello. I'm actually looking for a room to stay in the Grackle Inn
The grackle, you say?
with me and my companions. I don't know.
I'm
if
like
they,
this
I don't know if they
behind
followed me behind.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all following behind me?
I'm here. Hello.
I wiped off my feet.
Okay.
I did as
I
well.
wiped my feet on the way.
I did not wipe my feet off.
I take
He's getting
Roomton.
you're getting a real stink eye.
I take Roomton. I bring him down and I wipe his little feet on the and I put him back on my shoulder. There you go.
I was
Thank you.
proactive. I wiped my feet outside.
A gentleman.
I bow deeply.
Do you have the,
No.
you don't, eh?
Wait.
Yes, we have it.
What?
I need to see it before I can tell you where to go.
Oh, I
We
don't think we should flash it in public.
Well, the bar is just
Would you put away
completely
for that?
desolate. It is just you and him in here.
I don't trust him. I'm
We
gonna
were
give him a
told to
once
trust
over.
him by Brass Stash.
I'm gonna give him a once over. I'm gonna give him once
Okay,
over.
like an insight check?
Yeah.
Go
Do
ahead.
are we supposed to know what he's asking about?
If you remember from...
Oh, that one.
You
Never
got-
mind. You don't need to roll.
Doesn't someone have
Also
like
that
a-
one.
If it's
Do you have,
been an
like, a
actual
ticket or
contesting thing, I also rolled in that one.
Oh my god.
You both are
You
like,
guys are both sizing each other up, and you may like or dislike what you see. There's two old men glaring at each other.
You're all right.
I hate you. Want to come to my niece's wedding?
I guess.
that sounds like a great dynamic.
Only if I
He
get
already
to
has
punch
a
you in the
harsh nemesis.
face.
We'll see
That
where the
seems like a
evening
modern
goes.
comedy movie.
All
Isn't
right.
that- isn't
what
that-
type of gift should I get?
She's partial to pastel-colored clothing.
Isn't this just Professor X and Magneto?
Kind of a little bit. Just both look like they've been put through like a barrel filled with dirt and rolled down a hill.
Mm-hmm.
I've been found out.
So does Aurora have some sort of like ticket or something
A
with
ticket.
it in?
No,
Like a note?
that's not what he wants to see.
What do you want to? What do you want to see?
Some,
He
is
wants
that
to
the
see
orb?
the mechanism.
What do you want to see?
He wants to
If I tell you,
I lift up my tabard.
nope, not that.
But now you have anyway.
Well, yep, that's in there now.
No, it's
Can we?
it's got my
Is
armor.
is there anywhere that we could show you not in the middle of this
Of this empty bar.
bar? I mean, are there people at this bar too?
Oh, it is you and him.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
I don't have it.
I don't remember
You have
it.
it. It's in your fanny.
the
bag.
orb is
There's
in your
so
fanny
much.
pack.
Oh, wait.
Not-
The orb?
Not that orb. The other orb. The gyroscope.
Reach in here.
Oh.
Yeah, we have the gyroscope.
Ah.
What?
The mechanism.
Show
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh.
That's not what you want.
Can I roll to use my brain and remember when he
Then I rolled a couple of gold on the counter.
Thank you. Still went up.
17 plus something. I don't know.
Are you making a general intelligence check?
I looked through
Yes.
my items. I don't
Listen, we were sent here by Brass Stash to get rooms at the Grackle.
Okay. If you talk to Brass Stash, I'm sure that she informed you that we operate using a specific symbol. Whatever
Oh.
that symbol may be.
It doesn't look like a vagina. Like, is it kind of like a diamond with two lines down the middle?
No.
Then why did I draw that?
Why did you do
It's a feather! It's a drawing of a feather!
Is that what that is?
That's a drawing of a feather.
Looking at it from here, I can see how that could go either way.
Yeah, no, it looks like
I want to.
it looks like
Oh!
it's a feather though.
That's a coin toss on what that could be.
How
Is
is
it
that
a
a feather? It
feather?
doesn't have a middle stem.
It
Oh,
does.
'cause
The middle
it's-
stem
'cause
looks
it's-
like this,
'cause it's
and then the
completely
outside
made
looks
of
like
metal.
this.
That's why it's completely made of metal.
Yeah.
The middle
And it's a metal feather, and I don't have it because I didn't write it on my inventory. Did someone else get it? I just drew a picture.
That's what I was checking my inventory. I don't think I have it.
From behind you, Augie clears his throat and steps forward, and as he's passing you, he's casting Minor Illusion in his hand, and he holds it out. And the old man goes, "Oh, okay, all right."
Augie, freaking, you could have helped us this whole time.
Right? I can't believe you had it this whole time, Augie.
Sorry.
You should have said something earlier.
I
And
don't
now
like
we
it.
all look
feather out of it.
stupid. I'm like, throw it at his head. No, that's why.
That's mean, though.
What?
I won't throw things at people.
God,
Augie, do it for the lulz.
No.
I like slap it and it disappears.
Just as soon as you slap it, just woof into
Wait,
nothing.
but
What did it look like?
It was a
A metal
small
feather.
black feather.
There's a large chance I had one and didn't write it in my inventory because I have a bag of holding, so I just take shit.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, what you're gonna want to do is head back southeast a ways. There's an old magic shop down there. There's a lady in there named Sybil.
Why wouldn't we have
What
gone
you
there
would
in
do
the
is
first
tell her
place?
Wait, isn't
And
this who we
We
just?
did.
This is where we were before.
Yes.
What you gotta
Damn it,
do is head
John.
down there and tell her that Remy sent ya.
Wow.
Who's Remy?
Me is Remy.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Remy. My name is Dr. Virio Tompkins.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Virio Tompkins. Now,
Why wouldn't you have said me? Rem is me.
that's good. I like that. I'll use that in the future.
Yeah.
Rem is me. Me is Rem.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the place where we.
I'm gonna
just
light some
came
incense.
from.
You guys want to get weird?
Remy Barbosa.
That's all I got. All right, bye.
To Sybil.
Goodbye.
Well, this was productive.
Sure was.
Why did we have to come to this inn only to get sent somewhere else? Why wouldn't Quincy have just said, go tell...
Maybe
Oh.
she
We'll yell
really...
at Brass Stash
Wait.
when we find out if she's alive.
Maybe this is all a big scavenger hunt.
Or maybe it's a trap.
We'd have to kidnap the President of the United States.
Like,
Where's that?
maybe, maybe, you
I don't know,
know,
it just popped in my head.
maybe Quincy got caught and, well, then they tortured her and they found out all about the plan with the thing and then they set up all of these false people. Like, Remy's not the real owner of that bar, it's just some stagehand. But he seemed alright, but I also didn't like him.
Do we think anyone should stay behind and see if Remy does anything suspicious? Like if he
Rooted.
goes to other people's?
Well, routine, I can only do, like, see, 100 feet. That is not very far. That is...
We need
How far
we need
away
the
was
most
Sybil?
stealthy
Like,
one
what was
among
that?
us, the most
It was about a 15 minute
inconspicuous.
walk.
I was thinking it was like 15.
Those aren't going to be the same person.
Yeah,
I'll
Stealthy and
stay.
inconspicuous, those are not the same person.
The goblin with the candle on his head will be the least conspicuous.
That is neither.
I'll do it. For the good of the team.
That reminds me of Mole in Atlantis when he's like, I will do.
I do my best not to delve into those kinds of characters. I try to remain a real person, but the temptation is there.
This is my own IP.
Alright. I guess can we make an insight check to see if it is... He seems like a legit dude.
Yeah.
I guess try to do a better than a 1.
Does he seem like a person that we've never met, but actually him?
Does he seem like someone we don't know?
Seems like a
At
stranger.
15.
is he
15?
trustworthy, I guess?
Seems a little grumpy, seems a little weird, but didn't seem like he was
I mean,
lying.
so is Virio, so, like...
What?
I don't know if it's worth splitting up for this. If Sybil sends us back here, then I think we just forget the whole thing.
That we're just done.
I mean, I think that's
Wait.
fair. It's probably fair.
Before we go, what was his name?
Remy.
Remy!
Okay.
And we're supposed to
I don't
tell
wanna get
Sybil
there.
that Remy sent us. And that's it.
Remy
Okay.
Leva. It's fine.
All right.
Should we...
Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a
Let's
20.
be-
Aurora is doing
It's a
this?
20. Did we do it? Yes, you not 20 your way back 15 minutes to the southeast.
Oh my.
As you're making your way there, how are you guys proceeding? Are you just sort of like
Like in a
beelining it?
row?
Are you like trying to act like you're part of the crowd?
Oh.
I'm skipping.
Oh god.
Okay, Fenric is skipping.
I'm walking slightly further ahead than everybody.
What time of day is it?
Are you walking
It is
fast?
just
Yes.
night has just fallen.
Faces
Okay.
pass.
Thank you.
Yeah, just trying to blend in, I guess,
Okay.
as much as
There
possible.
were 6 donuts.
There are 6 donuts.
Mhm.
Who else didn't eat one?
I didn't have one, I don't need one.
I didn't
Over
have
the
one.
last one.
That helps.
We'll mail
Fight
it.
to the death.
Smash. Come on, Archie, eat your donut.
I split it.
I'll
I
sit
know, I
behind
was
you
just
and
gonna
eat
split
it.
in half.
Will that help? I'll hold it up to the camera.
Cookie Monster.
The audio.
Right. I need everyone to make, since you're attempting to be somewhat blending into the crowd, if you are, those of you who are, please make a just general stealth.
I'm less interested in blending in as I am just looking around and trying to notice things.
Okay,
like
sure, you can go
people,
ahead
if
and make
anyone's
a
following us. Or,
Perception.
You're
for that
being
too,
a
yeah.
tourist.
yeah. I mean,
Check them out.
I also want to see if there's anyone I know.
I've never been here before.
I'm definitely trying to be stealthy and quick. 19.
14.
Also 19.
Okay.
23.
23.
I'm
Stop.
not wearing my 14.
Okay. And perception, Virio.
That is a total of 18.
All right. You guys are able to fairly easily make your way through the crowds, which are kind of like not spilling out into the streets en masse or anything like that, but it's certainly like big social gatherings are going on in these places. You get the idea that it's sort of just like a constant TGI Fridays commercial in these taverns at nightfall.
Oh my god.
So, you
I
walk
can feel
past-
God
That
in
was-
this Friday.
that was deep.
You make your way past them. Seems without incident. Virio, you guys notice that you get one or two like sort of like side like out of the side glances, but then they just sort of shake their head and go back to doing what they're doing. And you guys arrive
They're
at
a bit of a
Sybil's.
motley crew, after all.
I say y'all kind of have a weird non-citizen loadout.
Yeah, we look like weird tourists.
Yep.
The two boxes I have
and it's
strapped to
like-
my back is weird.
And like the majority of people in the city are gnomes.
Gnomes,
Right.
dwarves, and a fair amount of humans.
So
I blend in.
I look like
Remy said this.
yeah.
God, Jesus, that was terrible.
Fucking shit.
Say that again, please, young man.
Remy sent us.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Follow me! And she hops down from behind the counter and leads you on. Like, now that she's, like, on the ground level, she is, like, this
My
tall.
goodness.
She is tiny.
She hops down and I look at her and I say, I love you.
Oh, thank you, dear. I love you, too.
Yes!
And she, like, sort of, like, walks in, like, that cartoonish old, like, lady with just... ding, 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 ding.
Oh my god.
She leads you back through what is a room that seems to be just sort of jam-packed with small jars of chemicals brewing. There's some things that look like potions that are mid-distillation. There are some things that look like kombucha. But eventually she walks up to what is a large stack of wooden barrels. And she kicks one of the planks on the bottom, and the barrels slide over to the side, and you can see light pouring in. A warm, fiery light, and you hear the sound of slapping. Ow!
Someone just slapped Groot.
You hear the sounds of not quite revelry, but laughter, singing, music is being played. And you see a sign hanging behind the bar, which reads, The Grackle Inn. Behind this bar, you see a tiefling man, purple, very, very intricately adorned. His horns are just covered in gold rings. He has just chains from choker down his chest, like you can see a few of the chains dangling down past his waist. Fingers are just encrusted with rings, and bracelets are all over his arms. And as you walk in, he smiles in your general direction and beckons you over.
I come over very willingly.
Hello. Welcome to the Grackle. My name is Malakos. This is my establishment. How can I help you?
Where'd you get all of your rings?
It's mostly from the cheaper knockoff places, but if you head down to the Thrall Mart, they'll have those available.
The Thrall Mart.
Yes. Please, sir.
Hey,
Do not hit the
Fenric.
bar. She is a tender wood.
Wait, no.
Sorry.
Looking around.
Did you succeed in what you were trying to do?
Sort of like reaches
One
up.
down, one to go.
Looking around the bar, you can see there are a few scattered patrons in here, maybe 10, 12 people, mainly dwarves and gnomes. In one of the back corners, there is what looks to be sort of like an alcove, which is a small, like there's a kneeler in front of it with someone praying to something. It is a depiction of fire coming up with a beautiful woman, like sort of like half of the statue like extending out from the walls, with like bright red-orange flames reaching back, and a large ruby on her necklace. There's a person sitting in front of it praying, and otherwise people are playing dice games. There's a few card games being played. There's another dartboard. There's a better shuffleboard game in this place.
So it's just like it's the better version.
It almost looks like a carbon copy of the other one, but like pristine.
Nice.
And lots of people.
And yeah, many people are inside of it.
I'd like to look around and see if I can't either see someone I recognize or like anyone shifty.
Sure. Go ahead
I
and
feel like there's going to be a lot of shifty people here.
just make a general perception or I guess insight check if you want.
You saw someone very shifty, but it was just you in a mirror.
I mean, 14
A 14.
perception.
They all seem like they're sort of just having a good time.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like any of the like nobody's like sitting in the corner in the shadows sharpening a dagger or anything like that. They do for the
Yet.
most part.
Not yet.
Yes.
I mean, well,
I would like to.
I wanted to make sure I didn't have any
Can't do that in
competition.
public.
Watch me.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought it was a euphemism.
Not that kind of bar. So.
Like, I just have like a really weird, like, I don't want to say
Yes.
metagame moment because I don't think that's exactly the right term and I don't know what the word is, but like, what if there was like a group of people in this pub who were a different D&D group entirely and they started making like insight checks and
on you
stuff on
guys.
us? Like what they would.
Hey, we're off to get the wizard's treasure. Who are you people?
And
Get out of my face, fuck boy!
Because they probably like would see Roland and be like, "That's one sketchy looking dude."
I'd be the person you follow out of the bar
Yep.
and like,
with your weapon drawn.
Yeah.
Like,
Like that guy's up to no good.
like if I walk out the back of a bar, I'm either shanking someone or going to get shanked.
Mhm.
All right, is that a euphemism?
You don't know.
Well done, well done.
Sorry, this reminds me of a meme that I just saw very recently.
Oh, no.
Sidetrack. It was GM, but say everything like you're a golf announcer, and then like when someone gets a nat 20, golf clap.
Nicely done, nicely done. The berserker's gonna go for the great axe on this one. He's going reckless, but it's a little bit of a risk, but we'll see if it pays off.
Oh, natural 20.
that'd be so good.
He pulls it out. Ooh, interesting choice.
But he's gonna go with the long sword with two hands on this one, but all right. Yes, very good.
That was amazing on the fly golf casting.
Thank you. I don't even watch golf.
That's the
He
true
does.
mirror.
Did you learn from the Family Guy skits when they do that?
Probably a little bit in my deep recesses of my memory. If there is anything you are all seeking in the city, let me know. I am a fount of information.
Font?
Fount.
A fount.
Like a
What
fountain.
does
font?
information
Yes,
cost?
a fount.
A fountain.
Everything's got a cost. If we need information, what
Does
would
it cost money to sneeze?
what would be the cost?
I mean, if you are here, you clearly have connections to people who. This is not a public institution that anyone off the street can come to.
Yeah, we had to ask for some shit.
Very specific, Kismet.
The salt is real. That's how Kismet does.
She's an ocean genasi.
We'd like a room at the Grackle.
We are in
We
it.
got that far.
No,
We already got.
So, I'm looking for the room.
Yeah, I mean,
Sleep. It is nighttime.
Certainly. How long do you intend to be staying in Zadara?
That's a great question.
possibly a few days.
Certainly. It for a one-bedroom suite would be 2 gold a night, but if you want to double up, it's just 1 a night for customers such as
Each?
yourselves.
Is that how that works? So one, so
For the
2 per
room.
room, no matter what, no matter how that works.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I
like,
passed math.
You can certainly bill you at the end of your stay.
You saw my eye roll.
Yeah.
So yes, if you would like to pay your bill at the end, that is certainly fine. Or if you know how long you're staying, you may pay up front. Either is fine.
I feel like I'm very bad about just getting up and leaving randomly from places. So
Certainly.
I think it's better if I pay up front because I'm just going to forget and I don't want there to be, any bad feelings between us.
Very good.
So
2 days.
You
Yeah.
can certainly begin with 2 days.
Yeah, I
2 days
think.
sounds good.
Here,
I'll pay today, yes.
I give him the 12 gold.
12.
For
For
everyone.
3
Yes.
rooms.
Wait,
rooms.
We're
Bless
not-
you, sir. Bless you.
We're not all paying our own.
I don't see why not. It's 2 gold.
Your friend is doing you a service, friend.
I want my own room.
Your friend is doing most of you a service, my friends. That is
12 gold
between.
is 6 rooms for 2 days.
Yeah.
We all get our own room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I cast not
Oh.
math.
Anti-math.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so let's start with the 2 days here, and then we can
He
just
did
stick
go to
around
college.
later.
Very good. If you
Wow, it sunk in after I had to retake that class 4 times.
How is it that doing that math is harder than like actual battle?
right.
Yeah. Because we don't divide,
Different
we only
mindset.
add.
Augie,
I don't usually multiply things. Yeah. Reverse math.
Augie leans
Right.
over and is like, is it alright if we double up on a room and I can just stay in your room?
Yeah, I didn't count that. I think that was my plan all along.
Gotcha. Very good. Here are the keys to your rooms, and he gives you each the keys that you require. If you are seeking anything within the city, simply let me know. I will direct
Sorry.
you. Don't worry about it.
Messing up someone's dice game.
I will inform you the best I can. So the evening begins to progress. If you all would like, you can go.
Virio, I assume you're going to have Rookton keep watch outside?
Oh,
In
I-
the
the hall?
In the hallway or something?
Oh, I guess. I mean, you could be in the hallway or you can be outside the whole building,
I mean, is your bird.
I mean,
Perched
it's
on the
a
roof.
little weird that if he's inside, just sitting in a hallway, that's like a weird thing. Like, that's a weird place.
People are just
We're
gonna
in a
walk
bar
past
in
it.
a basement.
Don't want to get reported to the fire marshal for having wildlife just in the hallways.
Yeah,
if you can avoid it.
Yeah, he blocks the traffic if there's a fire, so you know.
Yes.
I suppose that's fair.
I'm just gonna set up. I'm just gonna
We've gone
put
very
my armor
far.
by the front door in case anybody walks in. It's gonna clatter around,
Oh, okay.
just like how I normally move.
All right. Yeah, you can definitely
I'm
do
just
that.
gonna lock my door because that's there.
You locked your door. Very good.
Have you
Click.
not read the abilities that rogues have? Come on.
There's only one rogue that I know.
So,
To my left.
Keanu Reeves.
Hell yeah! I would let him break
That's the
in.
one.
Is that a use like this?
No,
It's pretty straightforward.
Oh no, a spooky burglar. Who could it be?
it's just weird every time you close your apartment door, you're like, oh no, I hope Keanu Reeves doesn't break in here in this apartment, room, whatever my apartment is.
Yep.
Bye. Drop key.
We have him every single night.
The neighbors are concerned. So I have the how we'll do this is I have The scenes for the encounters you guys would like to attempt to do throughout the city, these will take place over the next few days. So while we're doing scenes with 1 to 2 people, I have shopping if you would like to do so. These are just your commonplace items, what have you. These are your specialty items that are generated in the shops that are around. So, Roland is up first. Archie, I will send you a copy of it later if there's something you ended up wanting to buy.
If I go opposite?
So what you can do is, if you're buying one of the special items, just write your name next to it. So it's because there are quantities of items that are available.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's a dispute of some kind, we can do a
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
What's this?
I was gonna say if there's a dispute on like who wants what,
We'll fight for it.
then we'll
Just
do
interrupt the scene.
Yeah, we'll break out the fight in the middle of the.
Can I borrow a shit ton of gold from someone?
No.
That's funny.
Start turning tricks, buddy boy.
They just write everybody's name.
What do you mean start?
Meet me in the bathroom in 20 minutes.
Done and done. Wink.
For a good time, yell Fenric.
That's written on the wall.
Fenric! It's Fenric!
You said he's a tiefling, the
Yes.
gentleman? Is he like... Is he cute?
He looks like a purple
Rory's got a
Keanu
big
Reeves.
bird.
Hell yeah!
He is very, very, very,
Alright.
very attractive.
Kismet became an adult a while ago.
Just turned 18, eh?
Aura's not going to go to bed quite yet.
I just turned 18.
Congratulations.
Okay.
It
It
got
got
really
really
quiet
quiet really fast.
Yes, it did. Is this supposed to be like the next day?
Yeah, that's well. Like, are
The
you
first day.
are you speaking to Malikos before you go to bed?
I want to.
He's at the bar. He's at the bar.
Okay.
I couldn't
I
miss it.
would like to order a tea from the bar.
Absolutely, I can do this. What kind would you like?
Is he the bartender or is he just like at the bar?
He is the bartender and
Oh, okay.
owner and
Yeah.
proprietor of this
What
establishment.
kind? You have more than...
Yes,
Oh,
we
it's
have
been
a
so
vast
long
selection.
since I've had more than one kind of tea.
Oh yes, we have all the greens. We have.
What?
It's all loose leaf, so if you'd like a blend of some kind as well, I can put that together for you.
I would like a hibiscus tea if you have that.
Do we have to be in this room?
We do, yes. He ducks down beneath the bar and like you see him getting some water and he like hands you a small.
And then suddenly
glass
John
of,
pops up. That was
He pops up with a steel mesh ball is in there with the loose
Sorry
leaf.
you have to watch our role playing or whatever.
That's okay. One time I went on a date. One time I went on a date with Maddie while Kelly took a nap in the room, so that was funny.
yeah.
Yeah, that did happen.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you know, sidebar, you can buy manacles?
You can. Wink, wink.
Do you not have it? Man, turns 18 and immediately.
Does
it's
he?
just
So
ready to go.
I still have my hood up, but like I don't have a mask on or disguise or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Would he like recognize me?
You don't know.
Hey, I'm a criminal. Do you recognize me?
No, I'm not gonna ask.
Have you seen me around in any posters?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like
No,
what I
okay,
just
I
did
won't
with my
ask.
picture before.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about tea. We were we were sent here by what is Brassash's first name?
Quincy.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I'm so dumb. With
Brass. First name Brass, last name Stash.
thank you.
3 S's in a row. It's a nightmare.
It's so difficult. We were sent here by Quincy Brassstash.
Yes, I know Quincy.
Have you seen her?
Not for some time. She used to live in Zadara. She moved out somewhere east, I believe.
The Steelhold.
That could be. She didn't tell me. She sort of left in a hurry, but when she left, she seemed like she was sort of in the middle of an important project. So she, yes, I suppose it's been 3-4 months or so since she left.
Okay.
It's been a good long
Just-
time.
Me and my my companions are looking for her currently.
Do you have any idea why she would be in the city?
Well, we were traveling with her to the city. She's looking for some equipment, but we're afraid something might have happened to her.
Well, the journey can be somewhat treacherous, both above and below ground. Do you know anyone that would have given cause to waylay her, or
Not
like do you have any reason to believe she's in danger?
yes, but we don't have any leads.
Well, I will keep my ears open over the next few days. We have many people that pass through here. We have deliveries and things along those lines. And if there is one thing that merchants bring besides wares, it is rumors. So if somebody brings something like that to my attention, I will be sure to let you know.
Thank you.
What was your name, by the way?
Gertrude.
Gertrude. Lovely to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. I've finished my tea and then I'll leave.
Very good. Roland, you get your 4 hours of meditation in that evening, and
Yeah, I'm gonna head out like right after that.
all right.
Guys, we can buy cheese by the pound.
Oh my god.
Brie.
Sconies.
Cottage.
As you
Cheese.
step down, Malikos is still behind the bar.
Okay.
When you come downstairs, and
And the rooms are still like underground, or
the rooms are actually up on the second floor, even though
gotcha.
coming in from the outside, Sybil's place is a one-floor building.
Okay,
It's supposed to be a really big hotel, then.
I like it.
Especially if they just had like 6 rooms available. I was thinking that.
It's an interesting building. But he sort of gives you an eyebrow. Is heading somewhere, friend?
I figured I'd take a lap around the city and sort of get to know it.
Looking for anything in particular? I can point you in that direction if you are looking for something specific.
First of all, do I know what this a little prayer area is? Like who that's to?
Go ahead and make a religion check or history.
Religion or history? 22.
You very easily recognize this as Soon, the goddess of love and beauty.
Okay. I'm looking for someone. I suppose. Do you know of anywhere that some sort of unsavory types might
Well,
hang around?
you can't throw a rock in Zidara without hitting an unsavory type, but if you're looking for those who are operating perhaps below the levels of the law, your best bet would be probably to head down toward the docks near the slave quarter. If you find your way down there, simply linger near the statue in the square of the slave encampment, and you will. Someone will find you.
Near the statue. Very nice. Well, thank you. I'll be back shortly.
Very good.
I'll head that way.
All right. So as you step out, he sort of gives you directions as well, and you can sort of see the city has gone beyond its happy hour, if you will. It's
Sure.
still very, very early in the morning. But at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Okay.
So there's
Perfect.
very few people on the streets. You see a few of the chevaliers on patrol as you walk by.
Okay, and actually, so I'm going out the exact same way that we went into the
Yeah.
grackle. Okay. On the way out, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self.
All right.
Just want to look like an elf.
Okay.
Just very nondescript. Still keep my features rather somewhat dark.
Sure.
Just like I don't want to draw attention. Just look like
Like
any
a
other.
brunette elf.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Bill the elf.
Yes.
As you walk out, Sybil is still up at the desk as
Okay.
you walk past, and she sort of waves as she walk by, and you step out into the streets. You pass a few of the city guard on your way. You're heading sort of to the northwest part of town, past the tracks. You make your way through what you sort of see as the sort of middle class housing districts,
Okay.
which go up a tier, and then you go down several sets of stairs to you can smell the brine of the sea and the smell of the docks, and you come to what is the slave quarter, where the upper markets are all kind of overwhelming with their red, yellow, green, pink, blue stone walls
Sure.
and like fountains decorating everything and statues. There are a few people on the streets. You sort of, as you're looking, you can kind of see that the slave quarter sort of looks like it polices itself. There are a couple of humans, elves, sort of patrolling in pairs. You notice that they all have the sort of 3-inch, I guess, wide brass collars on their necks as
Okay.
you walk past. Make a perception check for me.
Perception. 17.
17. Okay. As you're walking past them, you can see that these collars sort of are inlaid with a number, and then the symbol, which corresponds to one of the 7 merchant houses that you saw on the flag on your way in.
Okay.
And they sort of seem to be like counting down. So there's sort of like an active countdown on them next to the symbol as you're walking past.
So like a timer.
Yeah,
Okay.
of some sort.
Is it a fairly high number?
On one of them you walk by, it reads 2 years, 3 days. Another one you walk by, it says 10 years, 7 days. Like it's just,
Okay. So it's not like time until curfew. It's like
yeah,
time until-
they're all individual. You see one that has like the ship symbol next to it. You see one that has the anvil next to it. They all vary in the 7 symbols and the
gotcha.
numbers on the various collars. You do see 1 or 2 people. They look possibly a bit more worn than the others that have the like the lemniscate on it, so like the infinity symbol next to the next
Gotcha.
to the merchant house.
Lifers.
But as you make your way in, you can see that it's much more simple down here. It's all just browns and gray buildings and housing units.
Okay.
And they have what seems to be set up sort of like a city square that you make your way to. In the center of which is a statue of what appears to be a human man on a stone bench, kind of hunched over, sort of one hand clutching his ribs and chest, the other one sort of like bracing his head in pain. And from the statue, sort of reaching out within a 30-foot, 50-foot radius of it, are these long red bands, which reach from him into the ground around him, into a few of the stone posts that sort of surround this seating area. And looking around your feet, you can see that there are all sorts of small markings in the ground around him.
Okay, what are these bands made of?
Very thin, almost like stretched out metal.
Interesting. Okay. Are there benches in the area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are quite a few. There are a few, not fountains really, but there are like some small, very simple gardens,
Gotcha.
which sort of have like a stone ring around them, but there are benches around those.
Okay, I'd like to find one that kind of gives me a good view of the square and just sit down and just kind of keep my eye out.
Sure. As you're sitting there, about 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass, and on the bench, sort of straight across from you, you see a gnomish woman make their way over and sit on the bench. She's wearing fairly mottled leathers. It looks sort of slapdash and tossed together, but you can see that there's a cat ghost walking around. But she's sort of sitting there and just like, not staring daggers at you, but just, you can tell that she's watching you.
Okay. I'm going to cast message to
Alright.
her. Can I help you?
What are you doing down here?
Looking for information.
What kind of information?
There's a person I'm trying to track down. There's a certain, I guess you could say lesser deity that I'm trying to get in touch with.
Alright. And she just sort of,
And who are you?
Fidge.
How would you spell that?
F-I-D-G-E. She pops down from her bench and sort of walks past you, and she's like, follow me, we can go to the Gray Estate if you want to speak to people who might be able to put you in touch.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, you guys begin making your way through the street. Just in the very, very distant view off to the west, you can see that just night is breaking just barely. The black of the night is kind of turning into like that slightly paler blue gray color on the horizon.
Pre-dawn.
Yeah. As you guys are walking, she's sort of counting numbers, sort of like under her breath. So what are you looking for exactly?
A Quincy Brassstash. My compatriots and I were traveling with her, and she went missing.
Brassstash. Still live in Zadara, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. You guys walk for 15 minutes. You kind of notice that, like, you're like sort of winding through.
I'd like
the
to
houses.
kind of do a
Sort of a mental check to.
I want to check my surroundings, make sure there's like no one on rooftops or anything. Just
Oh, sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
a quick paranoia check.
Oh, right.
Natural 20. 25 total.
There are a few points where it seems, oh, the natural 20, I'll tell you this. She's like counting these numbers as she's walking, and you look up on the rooftops and you can, like, every occasional bit you see a person standing there, and you see her flash them the number that she's on as she's walking through, and they nod and she keeps walking.
Okay, they stay there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they stay stationary.
Interesting.
After a while, you guys come to what looks like used to be a very, very nice estate of some kind. Not run down, but just not upkept.
Sure.
She leads you in a side door through what looks to be an old pantry of some kind, and leads you through kind of one of the back foyers, and down some stairs into what is a weirdly well stocked storeroom. You see barrels of wine, all manner of both rations and like other more immediately used provisions. You can see like cheese, meat, like dried meat being hung up on hooks, things like that. And she steps in to a small room.
How long has it been since I left the grackle?
Since you initially left, probably 2 hours.
Okay, so my disguise self has faded.
Yeah. Though she hasn't really looked back at you the whole
Sure.
time. As you step down, she leads you into what looks like a root cellar. It's like dirt floor,
Okay.
like sort of that big, spackled, large stone walls, which has gone gray with age. And you see a small pillar on the other side of the room. There are maybe 3-4 benches in this room facing
Okay.
it. At the foot of this pedestal, you can see a small pile of gold, some pearls, some gems, like a statuette or two. And up on the top of the pillar, there's nothing. This is sort of where we deign to reach out to lesser deities. We don't really have a temple or anything down here. It's just the statue in the square and this shrine.
What is the history of that statue? I'm not familiar.
Oh, that's... have you heard of Ilmater?
I believe so.
He is the god of sort of suffering and taking on burdens. If you saw the ground around the statue, people had different intentions and requests or lessening their time down here, things like that, etched in there. And every once in a great while, like every maybe 5 years, something like that, another one of those tendrils appears.
Interesting. Well, what were all the different items in the room again?
It's like 3 or 4 just simple wooden benches on the dirt floor, and then there's a pillar sitting up against the wall, sort of like where like an altar or like a tabernacle would sit in a church.
Okay.
And then it's sort of like some mixed riches laying around on the floor at the base of the pillar.
I see. So it's like to an unspecified deity, and these are offerings.
Yeah, you could draw
Or
a
a safety.
conclusion.
Okay. Cool. I will, I'll walk up to, I'll walk up, I'm gonna put a dagger down.
Okay.
I'm also gonna put just a small sack of 25 gold,
All right.
like, and lay that 25 specifically of the gold that we took from the
The ruins.
yeah. Yep.
Okay. How much gold do you have on you?
335.
Okay. As you're sort of...
And I'm just gonna, I'll kneel down and kind of just start meditating.
Alright. So you're sitting and meditating. Go ahead and roll a wisdom save for me.
Alright, which time I feel? Oh, good. 7.
7. As you're kneeling, meditating, maybe it's just because you're back in the city and like you haven't been able to drown out the noises as well, or you've got a lot on your mind. It doesn't seem... You don't feel a presence or anything on you. You don't feel a hand on your shoulder or anything like that, but you just get the impression that somewhere in the room something is smiling.
Okay.
And then just it's gone.
That's creepy.
Back in the light. All I ask is you continue to watch. I'll stand up and leave.
Right? As you're walking out, Fidge leads you up a different set of stairs this time, and as you're walking out of the house, you can see that this was once a very nice house. It's very tall ceilings, stained glass, narrow windows, and you can see that despite it not being fully furnished as it probably once was, and you can kind of see like the marks where furniture at one point probably stood. It's just very Spartan in this place.
Okay.
So you can see like huge mismatched tables lined up, and was probably once at one point like a banquet hall of some kind.
Gotcha. But it's just kind of disjointed.
And you get the impression that a lot of people probably stay here, but they do not have resources to make this the house that this once was.
Right.
And as you're walking out, you see one of the walls has a few simple paintings on it. Some figures that possibly, like one of them sits up in the middle, and it looks sort of like this person was once a figurehead of this house, or is currently like the person in charge of this collective that lives in this mansion. And sort of over to the side, you see a smaller alcove with 3 people in an oil painting. You see an old gnomish man, an old gnomish woman, and Aurora Solis.
Interesting. Okay. I'll just think on that for a bit.
Alright.
As we're continuing on, I'd like to use minor illusion to create a bust of the was it Sony Tank or whatever, I don't know what we call him. The guy that's
Stony Tark.
Stony Tark. That's
The name, as I
Sony
so
Tark.
eloquently placed into the podcast, is Arcos Bouchard.
that guy.
Sony Tark.
Sony Tark. That's it.
I bet he spends a lot of time coming up with names. We just shit all over him. We're just like, no, fuck
That's-
that.
That's DMing.
That's the joy of DMing. Like no matter what
NPC names are like business names. It's someone will think of something.
Real quick. Expensive, cheap place for items.
On this list you can go with the middle route. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Very interesting here. Okay. So I'll hold that up and just do you know who this is?
It's Arcos Bouchard.
I know his name, but who is he?
Oh, he works for the Merchant Council. He's a he used to work for the college. I don't know what he does per se. It's above my pay grade.
Interesting.
All I know
Is
is
he some sort of fixer?
probably. All I know is if people cross him, they tend to go missing or get relocated to shit jobs, or they end up here.
Pardon me, but what is it you do?
Me?
You seem like more than just a messenger.
I'm kind of an acquirer, I suppose. I tend to linger down here with these kind folks because, well, give them a cut. They don't care.
Fair enough.
A lot of them got more than a lifespan on their debt, so why not?
I'm sure they appreciate it.
We're all just doing what we can to get by around here.
Of course. Same as anywhere, I suppose. I appreciate the tour.
No problem. You weren't here, by the way.
Of course.
Good. And she sort of turns and back down the stairs.
Cool.
And you're left kind of standing in the front doorway of this building.
I become a bat and fly back.
Perfect.
And then I'll take another long rest, another 4 hours.
Perfect. Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
It is the next morning. You are going to inquire on your parents. Yes. Right. You don't need to get directions, as you know well enough where they are. How are you making your way through the city?
I am going to use my hairpins
Mm-hmm. Okay.
to disguise myself.
All right. You can go ahead and roll your d4 to see how many uses you get.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had to remember how to do it. All right, so I get 2 uses of it today.
All right.
Okay.
You would know, given your location in the city, it will take you about an hour to get there.
All right, and it lasts for an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have just enough time to get there.
All right. You make your way sort of straight east across the city through the market areas, past the college and the Maradran training grounds into Hightown, which is where you would know the elite people in this city live, or just have house holdings that they use when they're in town. It's very gorgeous, narrow streets, perfect red, like agate walkways that you walk across. And you are standing in front of the last place you left your parents, which was Wilderhaven Manor. You step into the building and you can see behind the desk is a half-elf man wearing teal robes. What's going on, champ? That is plastic.
Chomp chomp.
Chomp chomp, it's a toy.
He's very gentle with it.
He was.
For working my teeth?
I was trying to chew.
Okay, sorry. Teal robes.
Teal robe, half-elf man, very young looking. He sort of smiles as you step in. Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, I am here to see the Salises.
Salises. He flips through a chart. He's like, I have a Salise that registered Joseph and Lynn Statewood.
Oh yes, that's right.
All right.
They don't. I changed my last name.
Yep. That's okay.
I would have asked for the Statewoods. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I forgot my backstory.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's weird. They already have someone visiting. I'll take you out to the courtroom. He stands up and leads you through the halls, and it's very like, it looks very like nursing home wing, but like very fancy nursing home. There are big windows that look out onto gardens, and there are ponds. And he leads you out into what is sort of the, you son of a bitch.
He just grabbed the other one.
Why don't you let me chew on what I want to chew on?
Oh my gosh.
Ding dong. So he leads you through a few of these hallways, and you step out into what is a very, very beautiful courtyard. It's white and blue paint. It goes up 5 levels, and you can see these vines that sort of reach down from what are the balconies of some of the apartments. in this space. There are winding white paths that lead out to all sorts of seating in front of different fountains, lily pads. There are all manner of amphibious life and fish swimming around. And he walks up and he points across the way, and you can see two very diminutive gnomes sitting with their back to a statue of a woman sort of leaping out of the water with like the fountain sort of splashing out to make it look like the waves are crashing up behind them. And seated next to them is a figure with a clean black and white half cape draped over their shoulders. You can sort of hear the murmur of their talking echoing through here, but there are several people within this large space, maybe 3 or 4 others scattered out, and so you can just sort of hear the dull murmurings echoing around in here. But the figure next to them has short black hair and 2 long red horns.
Do I recognize them?
Oh yeah.
Is it just Kyrian? He's just sitting there with him?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and my hour is passed, so I'm sure I've probably, look like myself now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to walk up, and as I walk up to them, I'm just going to take my hood down.
The 2 gnomes sort of went, "Oh, hello. How are you, dear?"
Hello. What does Kyrian look like?
Kyrian is sort of like looking at you with eyebrows raised, like mouth sort of like agape in a "what the hell are you doing" fashion.
Kyrian, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Gertrude.
How did you already know I'm going by Gertrude?
Because people talk when they see a wanted felon on the streets who can't remember their own name.
Oh. I just... Aurora is laughing.
Okay.
Oh, Kyrian. I remember my name.
Well, alright, if you say so. Why are you sort of parading around without any
Oh, I was disguised on my way here, but there's something that's wrong about visiting my parents in a disguise.
That's fair, I suppose.
The real question is, why are you here?
I'm here because
Did you know I was going to come?
I didn't. Well, at some point I knew you would be making your way here, but I've sort of been looking after them for the last few months. They don't remember anything.
What do you... like...
Go ahead, tell them who you are.
Wouldn't Kyrian know that they were under a spell, though?
In a somewhat a lessened state, yeah.
So, someone has been making sure the spell stays, even while I've been gone?
Whatever was done to them has advanced far beyond what I thought your original intent was. They can barely remember their own names.
What are they doing right now while we're talking?
They're sort of like
Chilling?
pleasantly smiling, watching the fountain.
that's not promising from what I was hoping to find. I'm sort of trying to undo my wrongs.
Well,
And the idea was never to make this permanent.
I mean, I'm sure it can be undone, but it's beyond my means. You should know I work for Arcos now.
Is Arcos the white? The
Sony Chark.
Yeah, he's the gentleman who showed you
Oh.
kidnapped Quincy,
Okay.
and he's the artificer enchanter who made sure your parents are
Yes.
in the state.
Yeah,
that
that's
they're
who I was equating with.
in. Okay. Yeah.
How do you spell his name?
Arcos, Arkos, Bouchard, B-O-U, Shard.
H-A-R-S-O-N-Y.
I know,
Very helpful,
Kyrian,
thank
that in my absence and collapse of the company, that you would have to do whatever you could to survive.
The collapse of the company. They found someone, I suspect Arcos, found everything about the weapons, about the trying to start a war, facilitating the weapons for said war. The company collapsing was more of a Arcos bought it out from beneath you with your own money. And after he turned that in, he got swept up by the city, and now he's got way more connections than we ever had.
So are you happy to be working for him?
I am working for him.
Yes. I know. I asked if you were glad you were working for him.
You see him he's make an insight check.
Okay. Ooh, that's good. 20, dirty 20.
He's trying to say something. You can see the inner part of his, you can see his eyes, dashing back and forth, almost panicked. But whatever it is he's trying to say is not coming out of his mouth.
I am going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Alright.
in
That's
this
some good
moment.
spell use right there.
Alright.
Let me see what I have to do for Detect Thoughts, because I cannot remember.
Watching your face is pretty funny right there.
Yeah.
That was good. I didn't think it was going to go that way.
Let's see. See, for the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, when you cast a spell. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower. Oh, that doesn't matter.
Nope.
I don't think you have to do anything. I don't think you have to, roll anything. I think I just can detect your thoughts.
Okay.
For an hour.
Alright.
I'm sorry, not an hour.
If that's
30 minutes.
I think it's surface level thoughts, and if you have to go deeper,
That's
like
when
with
it's
the-
dig into
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
That
and
sounds
I
right.
just get surface level thoughts. So I cast Detect Thoughts,
right?
and I just say, do the best you can.
So, what you hear in his mind is pain. You can feel that every attempt to say what he's trying to say causes him major internal agony.
Mm-hmm.
and he is attempting to tell you Arcos is in control of the council. Arcos has Quincy in his estate.
This is fruitful.
And he knows you're here.
Everyone knows I'm here.
And that when he leaves, Arcos will know everything that transpired here.
So don't leave.
Roll a dirty 20 on that insight perception deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's hard to see. Carrion sort of wears a little bit of jewelry. He has like a few brass studs in his earrings and things like that. But you can see as he like has been moving and turning that there's a small bolt attached to the back part of his ear into his skull.
Yikes.
That's right, kids. It's an intrigue arc.
Grunkle Stan.
Fedor's gonna break this shit out.
Thank you, Kyrian, for caring after my loved ones.
Of course.
You at least give me a,
A kiss goodbye.
no, I was gonna say can you give me a,
Saving that for Arcos.
Ooh.
No, shoot. Never mind.
saving it for Keanu Reeves, thank you.
Yeah, fair, fair.
Malakos.
Yeah. Can you at least give me a head start?
Do what I can.
So I am going to,
You hear one more thought as you are going to do what you're about to do, and you just hear, he's watching now.
I just want to take a moment then to like sit down with my parents.
Okay.
Kyrian, do you mind just giving me a moment with them?
He nods, stands up, and of course, and like walks away.
So I sit down
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even say anything. I'm just gonna sit there with them for a little while.
Like every so often, like they turn their gaze from sort of, they'll sort of mumble back and forth to one another, or sort of enjoy the landscape around every so often. Every time they sort of turn over, they smile and look at you like, oh, they just realized you're here. They're like, oh, hello.
Hello.
It's lovely out here, isn't it?
It is. We have a beautiful home.
Thank you. Are you just visiting?
I am. Just wanted to see somewhere beautiful.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good. I'm trying to think That was not Aurora talking. She was just saying, I'm very good. I'm going to stand up and begin walking out the way that I came. The same way that I came.
All right. Easily enough. It was a pretty straight shot from the main lobby, so you walk back along the winding path towards the main door, making your way down the hallway. The elven gentleman is still sitting behind the desk as you come up. And how's your visit?
That was very good.
Wonderful.
Very good. I'm gonna put my hood up before I talk to him.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, your friend who you were talking to out there, he left something for you.
Oh.
Hold on just a sec here. He opens up one of the drawers. Here it is, and he hands you a small pouch.
Okay.
Are you looking inside it, or are you just going?
I'm just gonna walk away with it. I'm not gonna look inside it.
All right. So you make your way out.
Yeah. I'm going to, as I'm walking out the door, I'm going to use my second
Disguise self.
disguise self.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you doing?
And then I'm bolting.
Okay. Go ahead. Are you just beelining it straight back to the inn, or
I
circumventing?
do I know of anywhere that I could hide in this area, that I could get lost in a crowd and hide?
Hightown is a bit less busy, but you could easily make your way down past the college where all the students are. There is the marketplace a little bit beyond that. There's the Temple of the Hammers of Miradrin beyond that.
I want to go somewhere really busy.
Okay.
And
You
I would
would-
probably know of where the busier areas
You'd
are.
probably be aware that the market's probably one of the busier places at this time of day.
Okay. So I'm gonna beeline to the market.
All right.
I'm just gonna see if anyone is actually tailing me, I want to try and lose them,
Sure. All right.
basically.
Go ahead and make a. Never know if it's going to be stealth or survival. I'm going to just my stealth check to see if you can sort of bust over and blend into the crowd.
Okay.
Survival depends on how bad your stealth roll is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could try survival.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 9.
A 9.
Or I got a 9
Okay.
total. It's not very good.
All right. As you run and start mixing in the crowd, you've been running this whole way, and you look like you've been running, you seem very tired, despite being a disguised person. But as the afternoon wears on, it seems, or the morning, begins to go on. It doesn't seem like there's anyone actively following you.
Okay. So in that case, at this point, since I feel confident, then I will start to make my way back to the Greco.
Okay. You walk back in. You can see Sybil behind her desk as always. She sort of gives a wave as you come in. Hello there.
Hello.
And she gestures around the corner if you would like to step back into the bar, where Malikos is serving up a few meals. Anything else you would like to do?
At this point, now that I'm in the pub, I'm just gonna take my hood off, no disguise. Everyone knows who I am at this point in this bar. I'm sure everybody knows. So she's just gonna take off her robes. Take off her robes.
Hey, easy.
This isn't even the first time.
She's going to disrobe. No, because I was wearing a hood, or whatever, hood cloak thing. So I'm just gonna take my cloak off and just eat a meal.
As you're sitting there, Malikos comes over and sets down a tray of food and the same tea that you got last night. You look like you've had a rough day.
It's been interesting.
Well, let's hope the rest of your day is less interesting then.
I also hope so.
Do you?
That should be about it for me at this point.
Very own Kismet.
Tab! What are you supposed to say, Tab, when you do it? Tab!
I don't know what a dab is.
Tab!
It doesn't explain anything.
It explained everything.
You say so.
I flip a cup of tea on the counter.
Does it land?
Did it land?
I mean, it threw tea everywhere.
Yeah, but
You
does
flipped the cup. Make a dexterity check to see if it.
Come on.
11.
11. It like lands really hard and like it cracks a little on the side, like a little chip pops off, but it like lands upright.
Henrik applauds.
Tab!
So the two of you, as we discussed last night, absolutely that happened in Canada, not as a smash cut. We're looking for a contact with the Hand of Death.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's who we're looking for.
Very good. If you head down just straight south, you will find the descending stairs down to the Ember Forges, where all of the smithing and things along those lines are done. So as you get to the bottom, just walk straight back north below the Ember Forges and you will find what you're looking for.
But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Yep.
Alright. As you walk out, you make your way down. You can see walking past you, sort of gathering into like a long line of workers as you're headed down. A very large group of rough and tumble types. See dwarves, half-orcs, humans, even some Azamar, several Goliaths making their way down below.
This is a big crowd.
It's a lot of people, and they all look like they're going to a long day of work.
Oh, I thought they were just hanging out.
No. As you guys are making your way down the stairs, you can begin to hear the sounds of hammers and bellows, lightning crackling. You can see the glow of red-hot metal and hear it being dunked into the water tanks. You can hear laughing, swearing, singing, bemoaning, as the cacophonous sound of industry is ringing out.
A town on the move!
As you pass
That's a lot of little hammers.
You see like a minotaur and he's just got this just ding.
Yep.
As you walk past the molten metal being poured into molds and the carts of ore being unloaded from shipments, you begin to find the working tables and crafting tables becoming a little bit more sparse until you are sort of walking on what seems to be just charred chunks of wood, charcoal, and you find yourself maybe 300-400 feet behind you. You can see in the distance, maybe another 5 minutes walk in front of you, a just large stone wall, and in the center of it is just a sphere of shadow.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, so why did you want to come with me today?
I've recently back at the college, well, not this college, but the other one that Hugo apparently runs.
Hero School.
Yeah, Hero School. I kind of required some assistance and found myself in a relationship with a lady. But it's a partnership of that's how I got roots and back.
I don't want to know the mechanics. 6.
I was trying to like picture what was going on in your head as you just like stare into space.
It was a lot of just like no.
So, yeah,
Far enough.
so no, I've got Roochin back, and it's very nice, but I feel that I have to pay my, I don't know, servitude to the Raven Queen in some way.
I mean, as long as it's consensual, whatever.
Yeah, I think we came to an agreement.
Came to. I got one.
Oh my gosh.
Sing.
But she resides, I believe, in the Shadowfell.
Oh!
There's a large connection with what's from the minor research that I've been able to acquire on the Raven Queen. She's a type
Oh!
of deity, which
Damn!
what?
Social climbing!
What do you mean? Oh, well, so I don't know, you seem to be very heavily involved in the Shadowfell and the world of death and blah, blah, blah. So I thought, hey, why not Kismet?
I mean, fair.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out what
Your long distance relationship.
I mean, of course, it's long distance across planes. It's more of a partnership, I would say. I want it to be a relationship. That sounds nice. But
keeps getting better.
But for now, it's, I think, just an agreement in which there's some type of services provided, and I'm still not quite sure what those services to be rendered are. So I'm kind of, just guessing here.
Yeah. I got nothing for you, my dude.
Oh, well, that's okay. I figured it's just things relating to the Shadowfell and death. It seems to be maybe.
Those things I got.
Yeah,
Relationship advice, no.
but that's okay. It's more so I want to learn about where she's from and, what her deal is.
What's your favorite color?
I'll tell you what, it's black. There's many shades of black.
Black or very, very, very dark purple.
Mm-hmm. It's
What's her favorite dinner?
her favorite color is oil slick. It's that iridescent black.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that one.
So, yeah. So that's kind of why I wanted to see what you and the Hand of Death.
Have you heard of Hand of Death? Do you like know where we're going?
Kind of. You mentioned the Hand of Death, and it seemed familiar. I thought we had met someone maybe at one point.
I met someone. You were winning a bunch of money.
This seems familiar. I win a lot of money throughout my life. I'm a winner. Hashtag winning.
I'm
dab,
glad
dab,
I'm-
dab.
It's all written out like that.
It's like you're reading from a prompter. Just dab, dab, dab.
Yeah. Well, at least you now own it.
Yeah.
Live your truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but it's apparently something that you have to find. You have to find the truth to live it. And I just don't know what's
That was
going
deep.
on.
That was deep.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Ah.
Alright, well, it's-
And we're back.
You're so good.
So, all right.
So we got to the
As this is what
sphere
happened,
of shadow.
the tail end of that conversation just took place in front of this vortex of shadow up against the wall.
Anyways, what's this thing?
Okay.
As you've gotten closer, you could sort of see that the, much like the woven temple you found in Dunsk, you can see that instead of this being an actual physical dome of woven like black and silver metal, it sort of like creeps out from what looks to be, with your vision, just a round circular entrance into this place. And on the inside, it's like black and silver and deep blue, deep purple, like wicker, basically, that makes the walls and the floors and the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
How far does your vision go again?
120.
All right.
Better than mine.
As you look inside, then, Kismet, you can see a figure sitting in meditation. This figure is
Ringing a bell.
huge, about 7 feet tall.
Hell yeah!
Their shoulders are 5.5 feet across.
That's like as tall as me. I don't know how tall Kismet is actually, but like me the person.
Yeah, they are very broad-shouldered, and as you're looking them over, you can see that they're wearing just a simple set of black trousers. The figure is comprised of paneling and rivets which attach to thick plates of metal. You can see an intricate cluster of copper wires and cables running beneath their body, the outer parts of their body. See 2 dull blue shining eyes looking in your direction. And occasionally you see a small arc of electricity snap from inside them.
We're about to meet the Iron Giant.
It is something you've probably never seen before. This is what is known as a Warforged.
This is amazing. This is incredible. I'm about to have a very good time, Furio.
That's
You
good.
can't even see it.
That's great. I'm glad that we're spending time together too. That's nice. I'm glad that we can have these candid, emotionally intimate conversations.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into this
All right.
dark entrance.
Yep. As you step in, Virio, it is pitch black in here.
Like, I have dark vision.
Okay. What's your
60.
60?
It's not. I can't see.
Okay.
I can see like half is fine.
Okay. Yeah. You get
Based
in.
on that
You have to
first.
walk in about halfway into the depth of this room before you also see the figure.
Oh.
And yeah, you see this just big hulking machine of a person sitting.
Does the lightning sometimes sound like this?
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Does anyone else need to make a lightning sound real quick? All
Yes.
good. Are you doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Can anyone? Tanner.
I was gonna grab it.
Which kind?
Any of them?
Go with the berry.
I live to
Got the
serve.
fancy berry, and we've got watermelon, kiwi. I really wish I could stop talking in Virio's voice, but if I stop, then I lose
Thank
it.
you.
Yep.
This character burps a lot.
Perfect. I mean, if they're a big old robot,
Yeah.
it's the hydraulics.
Can you make a fire coming out of your nose?
They
as you
put
burp?
my exhaust in my mouth. It's a shit show in here. But as you step over the threshold, the figure looks toward you. Greetings.
What up, my dude?
What brings you to the Woven Temple?
I'm just here for some info. I think he's also here for some info.
I'm here for some info.
Perhaps I can give you some info then. What are your names?
Kismet.
Kismet.
Voice
I
of
know
Death.
You, yes.
Dr. Virio Tompkins.
Ah.
He wrote a book.
I've written a few books, more than one. That's a few.
Not much of a reader, but I will take it on faith that you have done so.
Thanks. If I had a copy, I'd give you one, but I've apparently run out.
No problem. As I said, I am not a big reader.
That's what you could be if you tried.
Oh my god.
Is it because you can't?
I
Are you?
wouldn't want to read his
It
books
is.
anyway.
Not something that really interests me. I spend most of my time meditating.
Oh. Yep. That's cool, I guess.
What can I help you with?
He needs relationship advice.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so there's this lady.
When a raven and a crow.
Hey, who you calling a crow?
Corner of your eyes.
Excuse me, you can ask first. I assume anything that comes from your conversation will be helpful for my question asking, probably.
Okay. All right. So it's super shitty out, as you
Yes.
probably know.
I am aware.
Yeah, everyone is aware. So basically, right before everything got super shitty,
Yes.
we were
at the genesis point of everything getting really shitty, and we saw Shar for like 2 seconds, and she was like, "Find my sister, Saloon."
Yes.
And I know zip about that, and now it's been some time, and I feel like we should probably do something about that because I haven't.
It seems like a good cause to be pursuing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then everything went to shit, and then we were dead for like a year, and now we're back. So
What do you know of Shar and Salu?
they were sisters, as you can tell from her sentence.
Good.
Shar gave me really cool purple ribbon bracelets for a while.
Okay. I'll start at the beginning.
I told you it would be good for me. First.
Shar and Saloon, to our knowledge and our ways, are the oldest beings that exist. Together they created the plane that is now known as the Shadowfell, which was once a very thriving, well-populated land full of people who lived infinite number of lifetimes. However, at one point, Shar observed that perhaps people should not exist on this plane for all time. She reached out to her sister to request that they put limitations on these beings they create, that they may not overpower them and ruin the planar system themselves. And Saloon, who was far more attached to her creations, became angry with Shar, and the two of them did not speak for a long time. And for that the Shadowfell suffered. For a plant to grow, it needs sun and it needs earth. The Shadowfell required the moonlight of Saloon and the shadow of Shar to survive. However, with their relationship sundered, the two of them began plotting against one another. Saloon to escape the Shadowfell, Shar to perhaps create the sister she thought she once had. So Shar created another being, imbuing them with nearly as much power as herself, a young cleric named Liliana. Liliana became the being that you now know as the Raven Queen.
Hi, Alpha Burial.
As Saloon left the Shadowfell and found this plane that we exist on, Shar sent Liliana behind her. Unbeknownst to Liliana, Shar had blessed Liliana with death. Liliana represents the moment of passing from life into death. They are the cutting of the string, if you will. So, when Saloon landed here in Almoraine, Liliana carried that curse of death, which we now all experience, with her. It took the form of a disease, which was driven out by the new gods not long after. However, the curse spread long enough to plant mortality in all beings on this planet. But if the rumors I've been hearing are true, the disease is beginning to reappear in the south. Now, Saloon and Shar have dedicated followers all over Almoraine, some who wish to preserve death and some who wish to honor it, some who wish to preserve life, some who wish to honor death. There are those who sought other means of bringing death further into the world, and there the radicals who would do such things as the and he like just gestures in the general direction of Core.
I'm like big nod.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saloon, you will find her at one of her temples here in Almoraine. There was a war between the two factions, and most of Saloon and Shar's temples have been destroyed between the fight between the shadow and the moon. God bless you.
Good job.
It's okay. See, make sure I didn't miss anything in that. Yada yada, yada yada. The remaining temples that I'm aware of, one of them is in the Glass Hills of Kor, and the other would be in the old Zilagondian ruins within the Frost Spine Mountains of Jund. Beyond that, I do not know where Saloon is. Shar was called an evil being for what she did. But I don't believe that's true. All things must come to an end. I understand that you and your friends are revenants in a way, having been brought back. But perhaps that was Saloon's doing. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's me good.
So, Liliana, the Raven Queen.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So let's say that she spoke to you and she said some things, and then you shook hands. And now you have a pet raven again, who's just undying most of the time. And,
Certainly.
you know, just like a usual Tuesday. But let's say you're in this agreement and you just don't know what you're supposed to do or what your purpose is with it. I don't know if I'm supposed to, be lighting incense and dancing around in a circle, or what is expected of me. It's very hard to tell. The temple that I went to was for many a pantheon of gods and whatnot, so there wasn't really like a good guide. They mostly just pointed me to the skull of a raven and was like, use it like a telephone, so I did.
I'm just sitting there like,
yeah, so like what am I supposed to do to, I don't know, honor or complete this agreement that I have with the Raven Queen? I call her Liliana or the Raven Queen.
Either is fine, I suppose. I would address her if it was me speaking with her. I would address her as the Raven Queen.
I'd like your highness.
It's why would I do that?
I can't finish until I know.
Is like Queen the last name?
I do not think so.
Miss Queen!
Oh, Miss Queen. That's a good name though.
It is.
Girl. Oliver.
You have formed a pact with the Raven Queen then.
I guess. I don't know.
Is your intent to continue to serve her, or do you just wish to fill a purpose and then move on?
Oh no! What I've heard from the Raven Queen is that, at least so far, that she seems to stand for a lot of things that I believe in. There's a certain part of me that loves to protect a culture and not wanting to ever see it die and wanting to see it prosper, to see where it goes. But within my studies in the Vale, I've come to realize that that's just the ebb and flow of things. Certain tribes die out at the hand of other tribes, and that's just the way it is. And it just ebbs and flows naturally.
Yes.
And it seems to be, as Kismet has pointed out, a little askew lately. Just a smidge. Just a tiny bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Death is breaking across the world. You share these sentiments with the Raven Queen, and as you say, things pass as they are meant to pass, given their own natural occurrences, not through the rending of the plains, which is, by all accounts, an unnatural occurrence. I would recommend you do what you can to aid the voice of death in their mission and repair the tear. Perhaps your purpose will become revealed to you then.
So what you're trying to tell me is you don't know.
I lean over and I'm like, I want repair the tear on a t-shirt.
I know, I heard that, and I was like, that's very good.
Uh-huh.
Like a good thing.
Is that a repair the rift? One of the two.
Repair the tear could be like a slogan, like a campaign slogan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know, we get bumper stickers, slap them on carts, you know,
Yeah.
start spreading the word.
I was just thinking, like, you'd have, like, a hole in the corner of your shirt, and then it would say, like, repair the tear, and then there would just be,
An
like,
arrow.
an
It's my favorite modern punk rock band.
Yeah.
It's way better than, you know, thumping gourds.
Thumbing guards up. They sold out.
Alright, well, you're somewhat helpful, I guess.
I am but a simple man inside of a machine.
Oh,
What's your name, my dude?
My name is written down somewhere. Ah, yes.
Aren't they all?
Colcord.
he
Ah.
bleeds off his arm.
It's
It's a
engraved.
bracelet.
It's somewhere around here.
His name is Madood.
It's like an Alzheimer's bracelet. Like, oh, okay.
It is, my name is Colcord.
Cold core. Cold core?
Kolkord.
It's like Nightcore, but different.
Koala core music. Got it.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Quit giggling, shadow imps.
It's pain and panic.
Hey, here.
Is that silence?
Yep. It's the new passive aggressive way to tell players to shut up. You get the silence marker.
ring.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you said an illness that's back.
Oh, the blight.
Yes. It's,
I know a bit about this.
What?
Actually,
Doesn't really sound great.
no, it's well, even before we died and came back, or whatever happened.
I mean, the things that happened then were already in motion.
Yeah, well, the blight was already in motion at that point. It was starting to take over the Vale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bridget had spoken to me about it. Apparently, they were looking for a cure at some point within the Feywilds.
If it was the cause of mortality, I don't know if there is a cure.
Yeah, that's a good. But I don't know. It's that dangerous thing, you know. The whole go to a different plane for a little bit in the Feywilds, kind of. And maybe you can pull, you know, recipe out of your ass, and bam, bam, boom, there you go. It's a cure. But I don't want to cure death.
Yeah,
it's
no.
just like
death has taken its hold on beings here. The eye blight, or as it was once called, the spell plague,
That sounds worse.
has become resurgent and is been creeping up from the old ruins of the Zelagondians in Wildenheim. The very southern tip of the continent.
I know. We were just at some ruins, but they were to the different end of the continent.
Mhm.
They were the different Z ruins.
Question.
Yes.
Is that near where Virio found that thing that one time in my backstory?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Snap.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know that place. Do not like. Oh yeah, that's right. I turned your volume down because you were like chewing and shit. Sorry, I'm gonna turn you back.
Oh,
up.
was it that loud?
Oh god, it's loud again. Sorry.
It moved like all the way away from my face. I was like, I'm eating Dominoes.
All good.
It was yeah.
Okay. So where was I? I was at the place. The place with the thing.
Wildheim Zelagodian ruins.
Yep. Zelagodian ruins. Sorry, I just have to write this down. I'm gonna forget it. if
Yeah,
I
one
don't.
time he wrote down a feather, but it was not a
It
feather.
looked like the vagina.
The only one.
The vagina. The one vagina in all of Almorane. You possess it.
Yeah.
You're a powerful man indeed.
Thank you. I don't. Why are you staring at me?
Awkward silence, awkward silence, awkward silence.
All right.
Can't be an awkward silence if you keep saying awkward silence.
Well, this was very helpful. Thank you, Colcor.
Anytime, Dr. Tompkins. Good luck on your mission, voice of death.
Yeah.
Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yeah.
Puts out a cigar on the wall.
I'm on it.
Alright, anything else you two would like to do?
I don't know.
Mr. Colcord?
With Mr. Colcord? No.
No.
You can go back to your meditation.
Very good.
Wanna go shopping?
Sure, I guess.
Cool.
I got nothing else on my docket for the rest of the day.
Cool. We're going shopping.
We went shopping. It was nice.
80s montage,
Yes.
like.
We're both sitting in front of a fountain eating froyo.
Corn dogs.
Virio, like, in a fitting room, like, 4 different outfits.
It's just like 4 different, like, drabby, like,
Yeah.
tattered leather armors. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
With me being like, yeah, or like, no.
And then you give me the thumbs up, and I'm wearing the one I want.
Dark brown, like weather-beaten paler brown, gray,
Yeah.
sea-beaten black, dark brown.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. Fenric A, you have been going shopping.
Yes.
All right. Augie decides to accompany you
So I was just gonna ask.
throughout your.
Is this? Did you need my armor for this? Or is
Uh,
that separate?
That'll be after the scene,
Okay.
or after Archibald's scene. After this scene.
Sure, I was gonna talk to you about that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Perfect. Augie accompanies you through the day. What would you guys like to do while you're out shopping?
Oh, best friends time. Best friends squad.
High fives, low fives.
We're
Two
gonna
slows.
smash cut back and forth between their shopping, but I'm gonna come out in like a different thing, and then he comes out in like a different thing.
In the different
thing, and then Augie comes out in something, and it's him in a different.
Like
Yeah.
just recolorings of the same armor you have on, just switching between skins.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah. So
More skins ever, it's just different colors.
one thing I was gonna do is get some fancy clothes.
Oh, some going out clothes.
Yeah, some going out clothes.
All right.
They're
What?
like some going out some going out clothes, and then like some like fancy like
dress
Evening
clothes.
dining stuff.
Sure.
I want to know what that fashion is in Elmoraine.
We're about to find out.
I want to know so badly.
I'm not from that.
That's
Almoraine is the world.
I get it. I was like, I'm not from like,
Oh, you
this
Tanner.
spot. Yeah, yeah.
You Tanner, the human being.
I
Here.
don't know. What's the
Suits are boring, not suits.
birthday suits?
Onesies, but it's like
They're
the
not boring.
naked guy onesie.
Oh,
So the first thing I try on is what Ron gets passed down from his family.
Like the Aunt Muriel.
Yes.
like, robes.
The
With
dress
all the
robes
dress
with
robes
the
with the frills. Yes,
and it smells.
that's the first thing.
That's not a good look.
I agree, but it's the cheapest thing they had. Let's
Well,
move
sometimes
on.
cheaper isn't better. Let's see what else we can find.
You gotta try this. You gotta try the Spectrum.
Well, yeah. I mean, only place left to go is up.
There, now you're thinking like Fenric.
man, he is real encouraging.
Why do you think we got along?
I mean,
I don't know. Just I'm gonna go with I think a little more like dress robe-y.
Sure, like
Stuff.
sort of like deep blues, black.
Yeah. I'd say probably maybe like
Like
a
a half
halfway between like a suit and robes
Sure.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, you're able to find something that's sort of like a midnight blue, like half cape. And it's sort of like a it's like a
if you say Matador, I'm
No.
leaving.
I thought Matador was
no. I was thinking like Count
Man,
of
2
Monte
games in a
Cristo,
row.
like kind of billowy white shirt underneath this
Yeah.
black overcoat, which kind of goes down to about your knees.
More like a petticoat with like the tail.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
tails on
yeah.
it.
And then like black gloves that go with it, and like just very, very tight pants with like high boots on it, not thigh highs, but like nearly knee high.
Tight
It almost
pants.
looks like a duelist's like a
Yes!
Spanish duelist outfit. That's pretty much what you're
Like big cuffs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Big cuffs with like brass buttons.
Yeah, and then
I do like the idea of the cape like draped
Yeah.
across
Yeah,
too.
that just sort of comes up, and like you can flip it up as a hood as well if you wanted to.
Yeah, but it's like a swoosh
epic.
across
Yeah.
situation.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? A matador.
No,
Somewhere,
You wanna
thousands
Yeah,
of miles away,
somewhere.
a horned head raises you. Good.
Yes.
Good choice.
God.
Yeah, you and Augie are able to spend the day kind of just sort of like in passing, like do like a mirrored shot of like what Kismet and Virya are doing. Like you guys like hit an arcade and like eat corn dogs by the fountain. They're just
Oh my
like
god.
you just keep missing each other except for your fashion show that you managed to find in the middle of the day, but then kind of went your separate ways as the afternoon began to draw on. And
So we wanted to check out the armory.
yes.
Some of that stuff.
Yeah, you're able to find the. This is laid out as like a big mall, but it's all one store.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's the Thrall Mart.
Uh-huh. Get it.
There's like a cartoony vampire giving you a thumbs up as you're doing your shopping.
That's what. Okay. I approve. I like it.
It's the only thing I could find that rhymed with wall that made sense.
So, yeah, linked with me getting this new armor, I want to find a shield that matches that aesthetic.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're able to. See, what does your current armor set look like? Is it the cursed one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that sort of black and red.
Sure.
I want to find one that sort of matches that.
So like a
I was wondering if there's any shields that had any like cheaper shields with like minor bonuses instead
abilities,
of like
things like that.
as expensive as some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Janet's stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
You can make your way into the armor, and I could do a custom job for you, but it is very expensive. I keep my eyes open though, maybe, and perhaps I can. I keep my. Where are you staying here in town?
It's a good question.
Are you staying here in town?
Ah, you staying. I was trying to decide whether to say the graphic.
No, I know. I was in character watching you, Fennec and Augie, or the store guy and
Yeah.
Augie just like watching you just.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was looking at that pretty thing back there.
Oh yes, it is a nice storage room.
I was checking to see if it was some armor or a girl.
They're so similar. So similar.
Frederick loves both equally.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like
Yeah.
in story, which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
Equal chance.
We're staying over at the Grackle for a few days.
The Greco. Well, if I hear anything, I'll try to find it. I hear it's difficult to locate, but
I think I'll try to come back around before we head out. See if you managed to find anything.
certainly
Try
that
to do it
sounds
that
good. I will send out my my little runners to see if there is something else somewhere else in town. That damn cat is back.
Are there any just like black shields that would?
Oh yeah,
fit
yeah.
me?
You'd be able to find like a basic shield, like your
Yeah.
+2 AC, just black shield.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just gonna grab one of those. So then I have a nice bright white and golden one, and then a black one.
All right, sweet,
I have my day armor, my night armor.
perfect.
Uh-huh. I get it.
Night without a K. Yucky.
Good job, Sam.
Thank you. I feel very accomplished. Do I get a point of inspiration for that?
Come
Now
on.
you're in a character.
You could have
A bat flies by.
Fucking bats.
Cats and bats everywhere. This mall is going to hell in a handbasket. Towards the end of the day, Augie sits down next to one of the fountains with like his third corn dog of the day. And he's like, I gotta tell you something. It's been bugging me since we talked on the underroad and you told me that you all died and all that business. You know how I said I came up with the reserves in the rear guard for the attack on Delaste?
Yeah.
I lied.
So where were you?
I was with the landing forces in Umbrock.
That's unfortunate.
We didn't know that. Our boat, at least, didn't know what was going on when they landed. But some of the larger galleons behind us started just launching fire into the air, and these titans just appeared in front of us, and they started decimating the city. And we thought that we were told that it was the entire city had made some deal with some dark being, and that we needed to escort the leaders back to the border to face trial for what they were doing. But
That's a bit of irony there. It wasn't that city that made the deal.
by the time our boat got to shore, there was nobody left. I watched some of the younger recruits who don't know what a fight is, just running in and finishing off the city guard and citizens. They didn't take any prisoners. I never even made it to the last day. That first night I took my horse and I rode out. I busted ass south as fast as I could. Got on the first boat. I could. Landed in Odve, made my way to Zadara, and started doing what I could to hide. not proud of what I did, but I can't say that I could have stayed on. And I can't say that if I would have stayed on that I would have made a difference in turning him around.
Yeah, that's probably right. I had a hell of a time myself trying to stop the slaughter at some of the battles. I bet that was hell for you. I was called a traitor many times when I had to face some former friends and colleagues during these battles. Traitor, oathbreaker.
Well, if they thought I was alive, that's probably what they'd call me. At least you're out in one piece.
You know, it's a small target.
He laughs at that. He's feeling a little bit more cheered up. I don't know what your guys' plans as a group are. Gonna try to head back to Steel Farm Gap if I can, and do what I can to help out the citizens there with that drow thing on the way. But if you guys do need me while you're still here in the city, I'll do what I can to help you out.
Yeah, I'd like it if you stayed around just at least until we leave the city. I don't want to make you leave here, because I bet I know this road, this area has been your home for a while now.
Yeah, it's a weird city. They're not anything like they are up in Dinar, but
it's not necessarily a bad thing.
A lot of people are good people.
From what we saw at the end of last year, that's some of the people we thought were good.
Yeah,
weren't
morality kind
necessarily
of
there.
Morality kind of got shifted there.
Yeah, it's been tough travel. I think you've sort of grown accustomed to my traveling companions. They're
weird, but they seem alright.
Yeah, it took me a while as well, and that was one of the things that was thrown in my face too, that some of them being not the most morally upstanding people or the kindest hearted, but I've done what I can to make up for it.
I mean, you're gonna come to forks in the road and go down one road thinking it's the right thing to do, and turns out that the thing you did was the wrong thing. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, put that back to when you left, or more crassly, deserted. At the time, you probably were scared and were running, but looking back, I'd for sure say that was actually the right thing to do.
Thanks for that. I feel like all roads are going to lead back to Delaste at some point.
I'm sure they will. I've been seeing flyers around for Tear the Rift. I'm not sure what it is, but
Yeah, I saw that this morning too. It was not here last night, but now they're like all over the city. I don't know what's up with that. Prepare Repair the tear.
Yeah, repair the tear.
Weird.
Tear the rift.
Yeah, I know. I was.
There was that one, but then it was like scribbled out, and then it said repair the tear.
That's the name of the event.
Repair the tear, rip the rift.
R.I.P. the rift.
R.I.P. the rift. Yes.
That's what I thought too. Okay.
Yeah, there was. That's what happens when two people put up posters and one of them overlaps the other one.
Yeah, it just gets all cut off and weird.
Yeah.
It's like, I get you're trying to get the word out, but
Yeah.
like, you don't have to ruin a city wall about it.
Yeah, repair the rift. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's too busy.
Damn billboards, man. They gotta sanction that off
They
somehow.
got a bunch of merchants here. You'd think they'd be good at advertising.
Well, amateurs.
What can you do?
Remember that time when I was a walking billboard for a little bit?
Yep.
Too well.
All right. The rest of the evening goes on, and the rest of you find yourselves all sort of regathering back at the inn, except for Archie. Archie, you have made your way to the library near the college. You're understandably getting some sort of like eyebrow raises as you walk by. You are a small goblin gentleman with a candle burning on top of your head, coated in wax. It's a strange sight, not unwelcome per se, but it gets looks. As you make your way into the library, you come across the benches that sit along the perimeter of the front entry hall of it, and you can see that there are all sorts of students sitting and making notes. They have small light cantrips that they've been casting that are sort of floating overhead as they read, and you step in through the entry hall of the library, and you find yourself in... You were looking for notes on the figure that you are in search of, ... Yeah?
In hot pursuit.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
That's a 17.
17? Okay. You begin to look through notes of various, sort of in like a miscellaneous section of the library where it's just also sort of unofficial journals, maps, documents, things like that of buildings being built, rough outlines of some of the like ruins that exist in the Vale of June that people like can't get a good mark on because the barbarian tribes usually drive out people that are not welcome among them, especially in the southern portions. But at some point you do come across a small black journal, and on this journal you can see that the inside of the cover, as you flip it open, there's a name scratched out. But beneath it, it says, servant of Zenroth Vel. And as you're reading through these pages, you can tell that this is the notes of a disciple of a necromancer. As you're digging through it, you can see the writings in this journal go from very devout, dedicated notes about everything that this Zenroth Val has been doing, searching all over the place for these various shrines of your god that you serve, and desecrating them. As the journal goes on, the disciple learns that Zenroth was once a very prominent devout follower of the goddess Shar, but eventually turned over their dedication to Shar to serve a more proactive god of death. And you find notes very scattered and very difficult to discern any more about them other than one name, Behal. In order to win the affections of Behal, the two of them began to search for these shrines to Saloon and Shar. As the dwindling orders that served them began to die off through the religion beginning to fade away, or the locations of some of the shrines, the local wildlife or inhabitants driving them out, you know that the shrines themselves had often been left with deadly traps and wards and things along those lines to keep people from desecrating them. The final entry in this journal seems less honorific in regard to the master of the disciple. Says that Zenroth will be riding north toward the glass hills of Kor. Afterward, to Miramir to continue research among more open-minded mages in the north. The final image is a small map which charts a path through the deserts of Kor among the tightly woven canyons that surround the glass hills and lead to your home, where you met Saloon. A few minutes later, one of the librarians makes their way up to you, a strangely muscular gnome. They don't do any leg day.
Excuse me, sir. We'll be closing in 20 minutes. Can I help you find anything else?
No, I think I've found what I need here. Would I be able to take this journal?
The miscellaneous? We don't usually send them out. They're kind of one of a kind. Maybe if you could make it worth my while?
A donation, you're saying?
Of course, it always appreciated for the college, my good man.
How does 50 gold sound?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I will certainly bring this to our donation center and put it there where it will stay.
You certainly seem like a trustworthy fellow.
Ah, well, that's why they call me Trustworthy Tyler.
Oops.
I was trying to think of a team name that wasn't Terry for like a solid 10 seconds.
You paused almost as long as me when trying to remember where I was staying.
Yeah, it's just Tyler. I got my brother's name, I guess.
There are 2 T names. All right, I will place the journal in my satchel
Right.
bag holding, and I'll give him 50 gold,
Perfect.
and then just be on my way, I suppose.
All right. As you make your way out of the library, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Aww. Shit. Oh, 11.
11? Okay. You kind of hear this noise coming off to your right. It's a weird sound, but after a minute your ear places it and you can hear a small child crying off to your right. And as you look over, you can see that there's like a toddler sort of sitting on a bench, maybe a little bit older than a toddler, just sort of crying and kind of looking around.
Seems fine. Are you all right?
No. What? Who are you?
I heard you crying. Who are you?
Billy is my name. And
Hi, Billy. I'm
can't.
Archibald.
Nice to meet you, Archibald. I lost my grandpa and I can't find him.
Where did you see him last?
He was going over to the fountain to get some drinks, and then he is. Well, I wandered off because I thought I saw a balloon, and now it wasn't a balloon. It was the sun setting, and I'm not.
You've been walking a while to get that balloon.
Way to console that child.
And well, now I don't know where I am, and I'm very worried.
Sorry.
You're scaring the child.
The sun is not a balloon. Do I see any fountain nearby?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Aha, 11.
11.
You're looking at the sun.
The college of Ashar is sort of like up on a tier which sort of surrounds the lower residential market tiers around it. It doesn't seem like there's a fountain up in this immediate area.
Alright, then I will head east, because if he was following the sun, he would have been heading the sunset west, so I will head the opposite direction.
Very good. All right. Are you bringing him with you?
It's actually decent line.
Yeah,
Oh
look
yeah,
at that
I'm gonna
smart
bring the
boy.
child. I'm not gonna find the grandma and be like, hey, you missing a kid? Found one.
Are you
He's
missing
not-
a small boy?
Pretty
Oh,
small boy
this-
here.
Just small boy.
100 gold.
Oh no.
All right. Okay.
Come with me. We'll go find your grandpa.
Okay.
Look, one of our party actually being helpful.
You guys kind of like wander down the stairways and make your way back eastward, through the city, and you find yourself kind of coming up into like the fancier part of town, and you do come across a large fountain which seems to have three fish sort of arched backs spitting water up into the air and then down into the pool, and you see Billy begins to like, that's where it was. This is the fountain.
Does your grandpa live around here?
Yeah, we live in one of the big houses up on the hill. He I don't know what I'm just visiting.
So would you be able to identify it?
I think so.
Alright, then we'll start heading up that way towards the houses.
All right. You guys begin to walk along the way. You guys are walking for like a solid 45 minutes to an hour until he's like, "This is it. This is his house." And he like pulls you along, and he like walks up and pounds on the door.
So it's a weird knock.
Boom!
The door cracks open, and a dwarven man steps out, just very big, unruly, gray and white, like badger beard. Like, "Billy, what the hell have you been, boy?"
I was chasing a balloon, and this nice man found me, and he brought me back here, and I didn't know where you were, and I'm pay the man.
What? We had sent the city guard looking for him. Where did you find him?
He was up by the college.
Wait the...
In retrospect, it might be the best place for him because he thought that the sun was a balloon. So he does need to spend more time in institutions to educate.
Some sort of institution.
Something.
Can I offer you anything as a show of thanks? My grandson is an idiot. And I apologize on his behalf.
It was no trouble at all. Is there... no, never mind. There's nothing I'll need.
Are you sure?
Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
You can pay me by sending him to a good school.
If they'll let him in, I will more than gladly do so. What was your name, sir?
You can call me Archie.
Archie. Alright, well, thank you, Archie. You have a lovely evening.
You too.
The door closes in front of you and you hear the voice, Billy, you bleeding idiot! You chased the flippin' sun thinking it was a bolt? What the hell is wrong? It just sort of like echoes. And there's just a back and forth. It's like, it's angry, but you can tell he's just mad because he was concerned. And you are able to make your way back to the tavern. Fenric and Virio. You two would like to go check out the Enchanter's district to speak about the curses on your armors?
Yeah, before we leave, I want to have a talk about what we're trying to do. So, Virio, did you want to keep this armor and get the enchantment off?
I'm not so sure. I guess it's going to depend on, if it's going to cost a lot of money, then I'd rather just scrap it.
Yeah.
We still haven't we've come into some funds, but not that much.
I felt pretty rich until I came to this city.
Yeah, same. I realized I didn't have very much money, and then the shopping montage, and oh gosh.
It takes a lot out of you, man.
It really does. But yeah, I was thinking, well, sure, it'd be nice to get some nice new armor and whatnot, but, just scrap it if it's going to cost too much. Just get some gold for it.
Next time I think I'm going to take all my armor off during the shopping montage, because that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's not too bright to do that.
Very shiny. Yeah, I think I'm gonna plan on keeping mine unless I can't afford it. But I was wondering if it would be if you'd be able to sell it for a higher cost if it didn't if it wasn't cursed. But what they don't know, I guess, might not hurt them.
Oh no, it's going to be terribly painful. I would rather, in good faith, not sell it and say it's not cursed. I mean, that seems like a dick move, and I'm not.
I just wanted to check with you on that before you tried.
No, that's fair, but no, I think that's a no. That's it's too tricky. You know the Red Herring Gang. The Red Herring Gang. They never saw the face of their victims besides us. But I would be face to face with the person who might wear it. I don't think I can do that.
That might be bad.
Yeah.
I agree. I thought this was a good conversation to have in the in the tavern here rather than in front of the armorer. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe that would have been a lot of information to try to give in shifty glances from behind him,
not
like
cursed.
Sitting up at the bar, and Malikos is just watching this exchange. So you're going to lie to him or what?
No, we're in a corner or up in one of our rooms.
No, we're not. Curious. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Let's go find. You know some artificers in the area?
I know that there's some near the college. There tends to be all sorts of learned people in those areas. People who are very smart don't tend to like to travel far for work.
That's a good point.
They just
Where
get
did you go again?
physically exhausted all of the time.
Sleeping on the cold, hard ground.
And eventually you just never sleep.
All right. So the two of you are able to make your way across town. You sort of pass by the college library area and to the sort of enchanter artificery research district around the college. Viro, you would know that one of the sort of tenured professors and or creators in this area is an enchanter named Gildo Brillick.
Get a Bilbo Baggins.
Yep.
Immediately.
Gildo?
Gildo.
Gildo with a G.
Gildo.
Realizing that now.
Yep, Gildo.
See, you just gotta own it, or else we're gonna make fun of it.
You always have to say the names
I
out
was
loud.
gonna say that was the thing. I didn't say it out loud. I just
Yeah.
typed in. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a fantasy name.
Gildo.
Brelick.
Brett Gildo.
Brelick.
Brelick.
B-R-E.
Yeah, I got it.
Lick.
I spell things phonetically, so.
I'm gonna write down dildo with a G, and then
good.
be really confused when I call him Dilgo later on.
Yes. Ah, it's our old friend Dilgo. Nope, wrong. You walk in and you.
Wait.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Alright.
As you walk in, one of the grad students working up at the front sort of like directs you to Gildo in the back. As you make your way back, you see a human, fairly androgynous in appearance, sort of shoulder-ish length, long black hair, very pale. They spend a lot of time inside. Almond-shaped eyes, very friendly demeanor, and they immediately recognize you, Virio.
Friendly Snape. You have described
Pretty much,
nice
yeah.
Snape.
Yeah.
Nice Snape.
Virio, hi.
Gildo, my good person, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing alright. Just back in town. Wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah, you've been gone for a while.
Oh yeah, just doing some research and traveling around, doing some studies, taking notes.
Yeah. Find anything interesting?
Terrible things are happening in the world, and it's probably going to end sometime soon, but,
He was always a kidder.
That was in character.
Good.
Sounded just like
Blank stare.
If you say so.
What
He's
can I-
certainly got his humor back
Yeah.
recently.
That's good. What can I help you with?
Henrik Show, the man.
I almost did this.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second.
Actually, I think they're on your back, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. I take off one of the
His tattoos.
the boxes.
That's on his butt.
So I pull out my set of armor, and I say, this armor's been cursed, and we want to get that curse removed.
Curse removal. That is tricky.
But you can do it, right?
I can. I certainly have that ability. It's just the raw materials to do that, to remove or transfer the curse from the item.
We can transfer it?
Yeah.
That sounds like more fun.
Yeah. It would be, probably around 9,000 to 10,000 gold in components to do that. It's like a curse, guys. But there is a shipment I've been waiting for, coming from. It's on loan from Miramir. It's a chromatoscope, which is just sort of like it shifts the different types of magics around that are in. It's a really interesting artifact that they're dropping it down on us to do some research. They recently found it up in in the edges of the Feywilds. We received word that it made the ship carrying it made port in Odave. Somehow it got past the blockade, thankfully. But somewhere between Odave and the Shatter Bay, it went dark. So we...
Was that Pig Latin?
Yeah, it sure was.
The Shatter Bay.
Odve and the Shatter Bay.
Uh-huh.
I nailed that sentence.
I know you did, but I heard it, and my first thought was, that sounded like Pig Latin.
I also was like,
Great reminding.
I'm sorry. It was very impressive. Continue.
Thank you. So yeah, it's gone. I mean, it was supposed to be here. From Odave, it's a 4-day like ship ride, and it's been 2 weeks. So
Which direction? Did he say which way that was?
Odave is the northernmost city on the tip of Ashar, and the journey would be down around the northwest coast, straight to Zadara. The Shadow Bay is right between the two of them. Shadow Bay won't be labeled on your map, but it's the
It's
little
just that little
inlet
inlet?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy. 2 words.
Yep.
I see.
So what? You want some help trying to locate this?
I mean, if you guys are able to track that thing down and bring it back here, I'd take the curses off those armors free of charge.
Must be one hell of an artifact.
It's well,
But I know you said it was already, but just talking.
yeah. No, I mean, like if we can't find it, then I don't think Mirror will send us anything on loan anytime soon either. So that would also be super great for me if you could find it.
So, what does it do?
The chromatoscope sort of lets you suction and siphon magic off of things and put them into other things. That's all the notes they have on it so far. They were able to remove the magic from one of the people who found it. They had these boots, and they accidentally fired it off at their feet while they were excavating it, and the boots couldn't use their jump ability anymore. So I think with it, we'd be able to take the curse off, and if we could remove that magic from your armor, we could put it into something else.
What did
like
the
his
jump?
armor.
What did the jump get transferred into?
you're not there.
You're not there.
I know. I'm curious. Kelly is
What?
curious.
What happened to the magic from the boots? Is it in the scope?
Oh, I accidentally fired it into a shovel.
Oh,
One of the other diggers dropped it and just boing up into the air.
Is that what that new invention? What is that? The pogo? The pogo stick?
the
The
GoPro
GoPro?
stick. The GoPro stick.
Oh.
We're still workshopping the name. I mean, they are.
Good luck.
GoPro stick. But yeah.
Tim.
But yeah, if you guys would be interested in doing something like that. Otherwise, if you can come up with the GPs, I can get the components and I can start working on that.
You know, that second one is, let's just say, not going to happen.
That's fair.
But I think we can probably try to look. Do you want to try to take a trip over that way, or see if that happens organically?
Hashtag fetch quest.
Hey, so Gildo.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever told you your name is fantastic?
Yeah, everyone.
That's fair. So Gildo, my question to you
It
is,
sounds like it when you say it.
what, Gildo?
Yep.
Yeah,
Gildo, my name. Gildo, that my parents gave me.
yeah, he's a nice, smooth Gildo. Look at him. Clean shaven and everything.
Vera, you have been gone for a while. Forgot it's they.
Oh, yeah, my mistake.
No worries.
They have a very smooth face. Gildo. So, Gildo, my question actually is,
Sure.
if I was to sell you this armor today, I slap it.
This baby can fit one person in it.
so much curse in it.
You just wanna,
If I was just to, give this to you here, how many GPs would you give me?
for
A nice cursed set
what
of
else? Well, what else do you know about the armor
I know
besides that it's cursed?
It's hot.
it is pretty good at protecting people, specifically from fire. Ooh,
Natural born
Alright.
salesman.
All
This
right.
guy right here.
And what exactly is the curse?
Well, if you get wet, it kind of hurts your brain. You're real scared of water. It's not great. But if you live in a desert, this armor is fantastic. And as long as you also don't like to bathe, that's kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's one of those
I'm-
nice min-max items.
Yeah.
It'll work.
I mean,
Stinky desert men, those who want this.
that sentence is riddled with problems.
Oh, it made sense in context. It was perfect.
So good. I do 1,200 gold for it.
Hey, that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, that is.
Just like shouts out. Well, shit. That's
a lot.
that is a lot.
I'm gonna do it. We might still get the sphere. That's not like a bad thing.
I thought that was probably gonna happen.
I mean, like the sphere is not like a bad deal either.
That's true. We could go steal the sphere. I mean, no. I mean,
Like, we could take it on a loan. Loan before the loan. Wait, he's right here. This guy's right in front of us. We're not.
They.
Yeah. They, them, there.
this person's right here. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Do you plan on selling it or just kind of keeping it? Are you gonna keep it around until the sphere comes in at some point?
Yeah, once the chromatoscope gets here, whenever or however it does, then we'll probably see what we can do about getting those curses off, and then I'd probably resell them.
Yeah, I think we'll sell it almost in some sort of holding sort of storage position where if we were able to find the scope and bring it back, then I'm maybe able to buy it back then without the curse.
A pawn shop.
Yeah, kinda.
So you want the 1,200,
Uh-huh.
and then you'd bring me the scope.
Give me a forward advance so I can pay for the trip to
Alright.
go find the scope.
And then upon return, you get a percentage of your refund and the curse removed and the armor.
Yeah.
And you get your chromatic scope and, your reputation not ruined because we know
That's a good point.
you don't want to end up like me.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. Either each of you individually or...
I'm giving him advantage.
Alright, Viria with advantage.
God.
Gotta
No.
those tanks. Please tank.
Oh no, that's not bad. 17.
17, yeah, they go, alright.
First roll was a 3.
Alright, yeah, that sounds fair. We'll make that work.
We'll do what we can, but if on the off chance something happens, then I won't feel
So I'll give it 3 months before I do anything to...
No, that's
remove
plenty.
it? Okay.
That's
That
plenty.
sounds
If we are able to go after it quickly, then we'll do that. But in the line of adventuring, stuff comes up, and we gotta change direction real fast.
Yeah, I believe you. That's why I stay here. Stay on schedule.
You're not there.
They step back and come back, and they give you both
But
1,200
I
in
have
gold.
opinions.
You turn over the cursed armor.
Listen, I've got a non-cursed item
Alright.
that I'm also possibly interested in giving up.
Okay, what?
This sounds
I lay
Great.
down the trident.
Interesting. What does it do?
Well, when you It's a
Sorry.
it's a very big fork for possibly a giant. No, if you stab something really good, it'll ensnare it in some tentacles if that's what you're into.
Well, it's not my bag of popcorn, but I'm not gonna yuck somebody's yums. Tentacle trident, huh?
Yeah, it's
That's the name.
might be good for seafaring bondage aficionado.
We do have a lot of pervert sailors. I mean,
Definitely not
not
slavers.
yucking yums.
Sorry. That's just a good line.
I could do 3,200.
Hot damn. I mean, okay, that seems fair. I mean, this is a very treasured heirloom to me.
I will miss it dearly.
I will-
Give me my money.
All right, yeah, maybe 3,200 gold.
Rad.
Jesus.
I need to start
So,
just
how much
yanking
did I-
expensive stuff.
Total would be 14.
No.
It was 3,200 and 1,200. So
Where did
15.
you get-
15. What am I doing?
You're reversing
adding
them.
them.
Oh my god, I am. Okay.
44?
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah, 4,400
the
1,200.
4,400.
and 3,200. Sure. Yeah.
I was
Where
like,
did any of the other numbers come from?
You know that
I
thing
thought
that's
you
been
were
going around
doing-
saying it says what happens in your head, and I sent you just the intro
Music?
for ba ba bum ba ba bum 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 bum.
Yes.
That's what happens. That's in my head. It just isn't. I have to write it down.
All right, so 4,400 for the armor and the
Right, yep.
trident.
Here's your 44,000 gold, which I did the math in my head, so this should be
44,000.
No, 4,400. That one was intentional.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Oh shit! Carry the decimal. Sorry, 4,400. My bad. I don't have 44,000 gold laying around in here, or do I? You'll never know.
Bye, Bowie.
They wade through the pile of gold behind the counter.
P.S. Bowie has been farting so much.
I keep hearing that, and I was like, "What is he doing?"
Farting.
Yes.
And it smells so bad in this corner.
I believe
Because he
you.
laid here and farted for like an hour.
No, I didn't.
I give to you.
All right.
So he goes back to the mint and gets us our... opens the door to the mint and behind him.
And it just like gold
They
piece-
open the vault, and yeah, like a river of gold pours out, and they just scoop it. I don't know, is this close enough? Rare. Yes, you are giving your money. The end of the day comes. All of you have reassembled back at the inn, I presume.
I'm playing paper football with the bartender.
Perfect. Yes, he is super into it. Like,
Yeah.
I've never played this before. This is so addicting.
Yeah.
He's not good at it, but he's having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
As the evening begins to carry on, kind of like Malikos mentioned earlier in the week, that there'd be having some deliveries coming in, so this seems to be delivery day. There are some crates that get brought in, they pop the tops off, it's some wine, they get some food provisions come in. A group of dwarves come in with some kegs and they like pop them off and like they actually just hammer the tap into one of them and they're like, this one's on the house. From the immediately down the way, we had some bonus, so we thought we'd share. And Malikos is like, oh, okay, awesome. And as the evening carries on, a few more patrons leak in. Laughter, song begin to fill the rooms. And then there is a pause. And a jingling noise.
Santa!
And with this applause, a small robot claps.
Oh, goody!
The barrels that the dwarves had carried in explode. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, snap.
It's probably not good.
Nice.
These are my good ones to tell which way the sun went.
Alright.
4.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
7.
19.
Alright.
Nice.
Also 17.
Alright.
Nice.
I saw this coming and I didn't do shit.
If you beat a 15, you will take half damage. 18 points on your failure, 9 on your succeed.
Oh, so 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
As the barrels burst with blue flame and engulf the entirety of the bar, blowing out the back wall. Across the city, standing on a tall tower, looking out on a balcony, stands an elven man. He drains the last of a blue fluid from a small glass, and he turns and looks back to his tiefling companion, who is bleeding profusely from his ears and his lip. And they look up to the tiefling and say, "Now, who else did you not see today?" And that's where we'll pick it up next week.
Yo,
Fuck.
friends.
Yeah, you're almost dead.
Oh, man.
You pulled a little reversal on my HP there.
Nice.
Dang.
I am a squishy,
Yep.
a little soft.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Okay.
A little bit of a different format episode today. That's fair. Hey, you kill so many of my people with
I
fire.
do.
I figured it's my turn.
Yeah,
We are back next Thursday here at 6 o'clock, and the Monday after that, we will be back with the continuing social crimes of the Travelers 3 in Dresden.
God.
Are we doing 6 next week?
For
For the
yes.
4th still?
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
fourth.
Right, it's the
The
4th.
next
We
week.
want to do noonish.
We could potentially do it earlier in the day. I will keep things posted on
Yeah.
social media. We'll hash that out then. Jared would be kind of the. What's your life like on the 4th?
The 4th. The 4th.
We'll hash this out in a minute. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, without everybody watching.
Yeah. Let's discuss all of our plans and where we're going to be for the next
That's some
week.
real
What are
good
your
TV.
guys' social security numbers? I bet I can say mine louder and faster than you.
Let's hear mother's maiden name.
All right. Thanks for watching again.
Bye.
Happy 69. Riddicle Kroll.
Critical Crawl.
Woo.